Welcome, race fans. This is Ron with Big Wizard TV. We are live on the air, and we've got some great Formula One racing for you here tonight. And this is going to be a lot of fun. We've got 10 drivers on the track, and we've got some fast ones. I got a few new tricks on the broadcast. I've got a new stream overlay here running on the top. We're going to run this overlay giving you details of driver and fastest lap time. We're going to run this through practice and through qualifying. During the race, we'll put the regular standings chart back up there so you can see a lot more information. But in the beginning, this new one I just found is quite incredible. All my overlays are done by Race Lab. So if you're looking for a great overlay, I use them in car when I'm racing and also here when I'm streaming. Race Lab. Look them up. The logo is a Superman logo with an R in it instead of an S. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. These guys are great. They always come up with updates and give us new features all the time, like this cool new horizontal standings chart that I can put up there and show you the pertinent information. Let me kind of tell you what's going on here. We are with the Procraft Formula One iRacing series. And these guys, let's go kind of through the field here, see who's out there on the racetrack. Let me get some info in front of me so I'm not looking behind me to tell you what it is. You didn't come here to see the back of my bald head, did you? All right, Space Sheep Racing, Kelly Bishop, Christian Bishop, both out here on track. Christian in P4 right now. Come on, man, stop. Go away. Christian in P4 and Kelly in P6, P5 now. You can see the names go across on the top. And those are the times that they have run. Quickest time so far tonight, Bob Wallace with a 103. And it's switching through who we're watching. This is, and Will Edwards just takes the quickest time in practice. We got 10 minutes to go. Let's just go through and say who's here, and I'll give you the rundown of where they're running. Space Sheep Racing Team is Christian Bishop and Kelly Bishop. Christian is running 4th in the driver standings right now. And I have the top 5. I don't have any more than that right now. We'll go to those in just a minute. They run for Space Sheep Racing. Also on the track tonight, Will Edwards. I think he was the one that just threw down the #1 time. Let's see if that rolls around again for us. Yep, Will Edwards. Will Edwards and Theo Bishop. I don't think I've seen Theo on track tonight, but Will Edwards and Theo Bishop, Coast to Coast Racing Team. And Will's out there on point. Pretty quick out there. Audi Romeo Racing is Chris Tardamella in the 44 car. He is on track 9th with a 105.7 so far in practice. Harry Lama Racing, these guys are, well, hopefully watching on the stream because they're not on the racetrack that I can see. Chris Springer, Brandon Dooley. Brandon, no, they were last season. They were right there in it last season. Haven't made all the races this year. Rust Belt Racing. This is Morgan Teggy, Adam Novotny. These guys are third. This is Rust Belt Racing. Morgan Teggy is our points leader. And 3rd right now on the track with a 103.9. Adam with a 104.5 is 6th on the track. And outside. They are the team leading the championship in the teams right now. But Morgan Teggy is in the points lead at the moment. Let's see. Eagle Race Team, Vincent and Phil, not on track tonight. Zero Fox Given Racing, that is Bob Wallace. Bob, P2 on the track in the 666. He is out there kicking it, running some great lap times. I don't see. Now we're missing Daewoo Racing Development tonight. And they've gone plaid. Todd Schwartz sporting the flag. He's out here. They've gone flag. Always out there running with Autism Speaks as their sponsor. The logo there is until all the pieces fit. Sponsoring for the sponsor for They've Gone Plaid. And Philip Scott putting down some quick laps as well out there. He is 8th on the track so far in practice. Qualifying coming up in just about 7.5 minutes. Philip Scott doesn't have a team necessarily, running as an independent driver. Let's go to standings. Standings for the drivers. Like I said, Morgan Teggy is out in the front after 2 races with 2 wins. So Morgan, third quickest in practice, might equate to top start, maybe a top finish. We'll have to see if he can get 3 in a row. Morgan Teggy out front, followed by Philip Scott with a substantial lead with the 2 wins for Morgan. He's got a 25-point lead right now. Bob Wallace in third, Christian Bishop fourth, Ed Smith, followed by Theo Bishop, Adam Novotny, Will Edwards, Todd Schwartz, John Downey, Chris Tartamella, Kelly Bishop. That is your top 12 in Procraft Formula One iRacing Series. Also, we have constructors standings. Rust Belt Racing with Morgan Teggy and Adam Novotny up front, coast to coast. That's Will Edwards and Theo Bishop in second spot. Space Sheep Racing, and these are a little closer, except Rust Belt's way out in front. They're 105 points versus 61 for coast to coast. 44 points the gap. Of course, with those 2 wins and 3 podiums, it really pushes them up there. But coast to coast with 61, Space Sheep Racing with 60, Zero Fox Given with 50, Daewoo Racing with 44. And there's your Constructors Championship. We'll see how that goes as the night progresses. So that's who's racing. Let's see what they're racing and where they're racing. Let's go there next. We have... Boom. There's the car. We're running the W12. This is the Mercedes W12 from 2021. And there's the racetrack tonight. We are at Indianapolis Road Course. This is Indy Motor Speedway in Indianapolis, Indiana, USA. Running on the road course. Not normally a place the Formula One cars run, but hey, they're not running yet. So this is where we go. We go where we can go. This track has evolved, changed, been updated, recently updated in iRacing. 14 corners. There are a couple spots here where you come out on the super speedway. The old track, you can see parts of it, and you can obviously see the oval, Indianapolis, in the Indianapolis 500 racing oval out there. But this layout here is fairly new. It's a couple of years old. The track is well over 100 years old, but this infield layout is new. They took away the extra turn where turn 5 is. There used to be a right-hander there, and that is no longer there. Now you just kind of go through the chicane, keep going down that long straightaway. Turn 4 is probably the most complicated corner on the racetrack. It's really long and late apex. Very, very difficult to master there. Yeah, that's a trouble one. And turn 12, hard braking. As you get back out on the super speedway after turn 11, you jump up on the racetrack on the short chute, and then you have to be hard on the brakes down into turn 12. It's a very large area there because it is as wide as the super speedway. Big chance there to pass, but there's not a lot of room. It looks like there's room, but there's not a lot of room there. So gets a little nuts, gets a little crazy. So here we are with 3.5 minutes to go in practice. We've got the 10 drivers. Anybody else join? Not yet. I've got some cool overlays for you tonight. We've got bottom right is our what do they call that? The relative. There you go. And a couple of pieces of information there on the relative. We've got the track temp, top left. We've got the time in the session, which I have also up on the top right of the whole screen on that cool new horizontal scoring chart. And then wind speed and the last lap time of the driver there on the top right of the relative screen. It switches from driver to driver. This right now is being controlled by iRacing. I'm letting it do it. And what it'll do is it'll pick a driver that it thinks it's most exciting, and it'll switch over to that. That driver turns orange. That's a good way to know who we're watching throughout the race tonight, throughout the broadcast. You'll see the driver in orange is the car we're looking at. A couple of the cars look very similar, so they're a little hard to see and a little hard to pick out. During qualifying, we'll go through the 10 cars and show you the paint jobs. You can see right there as the two cars look very, very similar there as they drove past each other. I thought that was Will in the 888. And I didn't think Will's teammate was here. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. Oh, that was Kelly and Christian, the purple cars. That's Kelly. Yeah, there's Kelly right there. Also, the two cars from where'd they go? Rust Belt Racing. How come they changed orders? That's weird. Two cars from Rust Belt Racing are very, very similar as well. They have a different color rear wing. That's the difference on those cars. And I think they have a different color camera bar. So pretty hard to tell some of them apart. So we'll keep the orange one, whatever one's highlighted is the orange car right now, Christian. And now Kelly. See, switch back and forth real quick. I'll control the cameras a little better once we get the regular race going so you don't get bounced around like it's doing right now to you. I love iRacing for that. They are great at making you as confused as possible. So, hey, let me know what you're doing out there. Throw me a note. I'll be here on the air throughout the race. We're going to go to qualifying here in just a minute. And one of the big things out here in Formula One, and you know this is true for these cars for 2021, and also true today as the Formula One cars get started. They do have a little bit different tires than they had before, but these tire compounds are huge. And on the relative chart, you can see what tire compounds they're driving. The current one's on top, and then they change as they change compounds. Now, one of the things you have to note, now I don't think they fixed this yet, and they might have because they just had a big release the 1st of January. But sometimes the tire compound that it shows on the car doesn't match the one that shows in the overlay. The overlay is actually more correct than the video of the car. So if you do get a shot where you're seeing that the car should have red tires on it, but it's got yellow ones on it, as long as the overlay says they got reds, they got reds. That's how it works. That's how it works. All right, qualifying has just getting started here. Practice has ended. The server will switch gears. 15 minutes to qualify. And let's see who's out in the first spot. Looks like Adam Novotny is going to get on the track first. And he's followed by Chris Tartamella. Now, Chris wasn't one of those ones in the top 5. So that'll be interesting as these guys get out. Now, they need to give themselves a little room. And as you can see, the drivers are going to be coming out on those soft compound tires. Soft compound tires are going to give you the most grip and quickest times, but they will wear out quick. So what these guys are going to do for qualifying, you'll notice as we get going here, is they will run the warm-up lap, make sure everything's juiced up, charged. They have a battery system in the car. We'll make sure that's all charged up. And then right before they hit the start-finish line, like right around turn 14, they're going to flip the switch, turn on full go on the battery, give it all the beans they got, and they're going to go blasting down the front straight into turn 1. And hopefully those sticky red soft compound tires hold the track and they can get their quick lap in. You'll also see a couple spots where the wing opens up. Right there, you can see it on Adam's car as he goes across the start-finish line. That is the DRS, drag reduction system. The DRS system allows the cars to get a little bit extra speed, less drag as they go down the straightaways. And I believe there are 2 DRS zones on this racetrack. Since this is not a regular F1 track, it doesn't show me on any track map where those DRS zones are. But as you can see, it's open the two straightaways. You can see parallel each other on the front stretch of the super speedway, and then right through the center of the infield is where you're going to see the wing open up, drag reduction system active, and allow them to get a little more oomph as they go down the long straights. Here goes Adam through turn 13. Oh, and he gets a little squirrely. That's gonna hurt his time. He goes a little bit wide. Let's see who's else is out here. He's not gonna like that time. It will give him a time, but he won't like it. Bob Wallace was really quick in the practice session. We'll see how he does. As they start going across, they'll be getting times. Bob Wallace with a 1:02. That's flying. So Bob with a 1:02.8. Adam runs a 1:03.9 with that bobble. Christian Bishop so far, P3. They will get the full 15 minutes. Now what they'll do, and you'll see this, a lot of guys will do this, they'll run that one lap, and then they'll park the car. Now Bob's running 2 laps at speed with his red tires, but to get the best tire degradation, so to speak, you can't really get great tire degradation. You can get minimal tire degradation. But to get the best performance out of the tires, you're going to want fresh rubber on there every time you go out. So Bob's trying it again here. He's going to try another lap here. But he has actually lost the top spot. And we'll see who that is in just a second. We'll give Bob a chance to run across turn 14 and run down this front stretch, drop that wing open, and come across the line. Does he improve? See, he's going to pull over right away. And Bob does not improve. So, Morgan Teggy was the driver that picked up the fastest lap on their first try. Morgan's running a second lap, 1:02.854 to a 1:02.884. Very, very close. Will Edwards now in third spot with a 1:03.2. Adam Novotny there in P4. Morgan goes across again, does slightly improve, 1:02.853, but not much. So they're going to fuel him up with just enough fuel to go 2 or 3 laps. They're going to put a fresh set of rubber on the car, and they're going to go out again. And they're going to try it one more time. Here's Adam on his second attempt. He's probably just finishing up his warm-up lap. What would you do? Adam is not on a warm-up lap. This should be a hot lap for Adam. Coming across the line, we'll see how he does. Moves him up to the top. Quick lap for Adam Novotny, 1:02.827. 3/100ths of a second ahead of his teammate Morgan Teggy. These guys are always quick. These guys are flying. I love the team that gets out there. The Rust Belt Racing, Morgan and Adam, doing their dues. Get out there paying the price, getting out there putting in the time, really putting down some fast laps out there. Let's not count out Bob. He's in 4th right now, but man, they are really cooking. Will Edwards just ripped off another one. He just pulled in the pits to get a new set of tires and new fuel. Only 9 minutes left. Let's go check, see if Bob's got anything for him here. As he goes down into turn 7, just out of the infield. You can see just really quickly DRS slams shut. Bob's running the red wings, green paint. Now, John Downey is also in the number 5 car, also running that same paint job. So they're not teammates officially, but it looks like they are working together here in the racing. Oh, and Bob loses it coming across the last couple of corners there. Tough section there, 12 and 13, as we watch either Adam or, not sure if that's Adam or Morgan coming across. And there's Philip Scott dropping one down. Philip Scott takes the top spot in the 99 car. He just ripped off a lap, and he is currently on the top of the pile. Kelly Bishop, Todd Schwartz, still no times. Everybody else inside 105, but Philip Scott with a 102.6, 2 tenths, 1.5 tenths to the good. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. 8 minutes left. Plenty of time. This is a really quick track. 1 minute, 4 seconds is nothing. So these guys are going to go around again. They're going to keep trying. Track temp is 108. So it could still climb a little bit. 108's a little low. I mean, it's going down to 107. It was a 111 during practice. So obviously light fuel, soft tire compound, fresh tires every couple of laps. These guys are really putting down some lap times. Looking good, looking good. As we're watching Adam for a moment. Adam coming around turn 11 up onto the super speedway through the short chute between turns 1 and 2. The Indy Motor Speedway oval is famous, world famous, for the speed, the excitement that happens at this racetrack every May over Memorial Day weekend. I love watching the race. It's one of my favorite things to do over Memorial Day. This and Monaco F1, the Monaco Grand Prix. Phillips still holding on to that. Adam with an 827. No improvement there. Will Edwards moves up to third with a 102.839. Morgan with a 102.853. Bob Wallace with a 102.884. 5 drivers, all within a second. All within 0.3 of a second. So that is tight. Real tight up at the top. Todd Schwartz gets a time in. He's on the track now. Kelly Bishop gets his time on. And Mr. Novotny is going to try it again. Watch some of these cool camera angles. There's Philip Scott, who's one of the Rust Belt Racing guys right behind him in the multicolored purple and blue. That'd be Morgan. You can see by the relative, Morgan's following Philip around. And Philip must have dropped off the track because now Morgan's not. Christian Bishop, usually a little closer to the front. We'll see if he can get one down. We'll watch Christian here. We'll do this cool new camera angle thing I found with the fixed cameras. The cameras will stay fixed and switch around the racetrack as the car goes around. They're kind of cool. Here he comes around turn 14, down the front straight. Now this is the yard of bricks. This is the front stretch of the Indy 500 right there. Boom, yard of bricks. He just went across. And Christian stays in P6. Not really happy with his times, I can guarantee you. He's going to go out and try it again. I don't think the car in the pit lane is the most exciting iRacing. I think you're missing something. We'll watch Will Edwards go around. This is Will in the red, white, and blue, beautifully painted car. Now they can't do much. I shouldn't say they can't do anything. They can do some, but they can't do much with the paint jobs on these cars. These cars are very limited by Mercedes. These are all the same car. They're all a Mercedes W12, and you cannot change the paint on the car very much. You can pick some colors. Can't take the AMGs off the back splitter. You can't just put your own logos on it. You can't put any logos on it unless you want to run the Petronas paint job that's actual official for the Mercedes W12 for 2021. As we watch Will Edwards go across the line and take the top spot. With that one, Will puts down a 102.613. That would be 6/100ths of a second ahead. And Bob Wallace throws down a great lap with a 102.734. Puts himself in third in qualifying. Now, we've only got 3.5 minutes left. Now, they're not going to have a whole bunch more time to do this, but since it's only a minute around and a minute warm-up or minute and a half warm-up, they do have a little bit of time. They will be able to finish the lap they're on when the when the flag falls. So as the time runs out, they will be able to finish the lap that they're running. Whoa! Christian catches the corner of turn 7 there as he goes off that long straightaway. That might hurt his time. We'll see. Gave him a little bump. You see the GT cars doing that, but you don't see the Formula One cars doing it. That's not really good for them. I don't think it was supposed to happen that way. You can see the line rubbering up on the racetrack, getting darker where they race. That's the driving line. And there are a bunch of grandstands here, but we're watching racing, not grandstands, so you don't see them. There he goes. Christian Bishop tries it again and does not improve. I'm telling you, he's not a happy camper. But Morgan Teggy, points leader, right in front of him, just by a hair there. Also not up in the front. Philip Scott retakes the front spot. Adam Novotny retakes second spot. Will Edwards still there in third with a 102.613. Followed by Bob Wallace, Morgan Teggy, Christian Bishop down into the 103.1. Kelly with a 103.5, John 104, Chris 104, 105, and Todd 106. So the field's still really tight here. As everybody runs together, you should see a lot of good, tight racing as we kick off this incredible Formula One Indy Grand Prix. There's probably a name. I'm sure there's a name for this race. Let's go look at the schedule. I'll bet they have a name. Procraft Formula One iRacing Series. Brought to you here by Big Wizard TV, and this is the Redemption for 2005 Grand Prix. I don't know what that means, but sounds really cool. Redemption for 2005. Maybe they were going to race in Indy in 2005 and they didn't? Don't know. But here we are. We're racing it now. If you want to get involved, this is iRacing. iRacing.com will give you access to everything you need to get in your own W12 or W13. They have it as well. You can race at Indy. You can race at Spa. You can race at Le Mans. You can race anywhere there's a racetrack. Oddly enough, you can even race them on dirt tracks. But they won't do too well. You're not going to get the performance out of a Formula One car on a dirt track. But believe me, it has been tried. There's nothing out there that hasn't been tried in iRacing. It's a lot of fun, great simulator, a lot of good times on that one. Love racing. I do my own races. Just finished one actually here on our channel here, and you can watch us here on Twitch TV, Big Wizard, or you can watch us on YouTube under Big Wizard TV. We have the races posted on both channels, and I ran a race today with the Formula 4 car, 10 drivers, and finished in second spot today. It was a good race. Had first for a little while, made a little bobble there with about 7 to go, and took me out of contention for the win, but finished in second spot. A lot of fun. Vincent Tramontana, which actually he is in this league, but he is not on the track tonight. Not sure where Vincent went after the race. But yeah, good stuff. Formula 4s, Formula 1s, all of them. This is it. You can finish your lap, but they're not running one, so qualifying is done. That is it. Let me pull up. They're gonna line up here. Let me get my man. They're ahead of me. Let me turn this one off and turn this one on. We gotta have our. We gotta have our laps. We gotta move this thing around a little because I was moving things around for that other overlay. Really cool overlay, wasn't it? I thought that was really fun. But this one will give us a little more information. It'll give us some gaps, some lap times. It'll show us all the time who's where in the order. Show us which tire compounds they use. On the bottom, you'll be able to see also their pit stop lap, the lap they come in on, and This will give you a little bit more info as we race, because during qualifying, you know, the the gap between the drivers isn't really, there's nothing there. They're not racing each other; they're racing the clock. So also down on the relative screen, we've added another click, which is the gear that the cars are running. So that's kind of cool. I was pretty happy for Race Lab for throwing that out there. Let's see if we can find some drivers. We should have the drivers here. Hello, guys. There we go. And we're going to get ready to start. You'll see once they get all lined up and everybody in position, we're still waiting on one driver, even though you can't see it, he's missing, but he is missing. This gives them a chance to go out and do their configurations and setups and switch from qualifying setups to race setups. You can see that different cars have different tire compounds. Philip Scott running on the mediums, Adam Novotny on mediums, Will Edwards on the soft tires. There's Morgan, and now you'll see the lights get up at the top, and here we go. We'll go green, see a little puff of smoke, and are off and running. You'll hear them rev the engines a little bit before they go. Here we go. We're getting ready to go. There's green flag, and the flag is out, and off they go. Great start. Oh, a little wobble there, a little bump, but mostly everybody got out there clean. But man, Adam Novotny drops into turn one first, followed by his teammate Morgan Teggy, and behind them Philip Scott, followed by Bob Wallace, Christian Bishop, Will Edwards. That's your top six. Nose to tails, they come around through turn 5 and 6 chicane down the backstretch. And the gap is short here on lap 1. Tight race off the start, but clean, mostly clean. And Adam leading the way around on lap 1. He usually has a rough start. You can ask him. He'll tell you. He does not like starting. But it looks like he's done some practice, because Adam got that one down. He nailed it. Got a great jump. Got out in front of Philip, who was on the pole, and took turn 1 by storm, and still has it. Teammate Morgan Teggy right behind, followed by Philip Scott, Bob Wallace, Christian Bishop, Will Edwards. That's the run here as we go, and those guys followed by John Downey, Kelly Bishop, Todd Schwartz, all right there on the front stretch. Chris Tartamella back a little bit, but we'll keep an eye on this. But right now, we're going to keep our eyes out front and see how that turns out. If there's anything coming up, we'll try to get to it quick. I don't have a replay screen, so you'll just have to watch me rewind. That might be a little interesting. But this battle right here is heating up a little bit. Bob Wallace under pressure now from Christian Bishop. This is for P4. Will Edwards right behind. Ooh, a little wobble there from Christian. You can see he gets away, and Will is not letting that go by without taking advantage. Here he goes into P5, down into turn 12, but a little bit wide. That's going to give Christian the chance to go back around the outside. Oh, a little back and forth there for 5th spot. Christian Bishop holds the position, but he's now got to catch back up to Bob Wallace, who's got a 2-second gap on him with that little bobble that he had. We'll keep an eye on that one. Here goes Bob, who's 2 seconds behind Philip Scott in P4 here, coming around into the infield section off the super speedway. Up front, no change, but it's getting pretty tight up there. 0.3 of a second gap. Adam and Morgan pulling away. I think this is probably their strategy as teammates. They're both running the medium compound tires, so they're going to be able to switch those softs later on. Medium compound tire lasts a little bit longer than the soft, but we're going to find out, because Will Edwards in the 888, he is running the soft compound tires. We'll see if he has that advantage. He is putting down some good lap times, but right now Morgan Teggy with the quickest lap on the racetrack of the 104.9. He's got the fastest lap of the race. Will Edwards with just a 106.5. So Morgan, now I race with Morgan quite a bit in other leagues, and I'm telling you what, the guy is just a machine. He can run those laps lap after lap. Adam Novotny, though, takes the quickest lap away from him. Teammates working on their setups together. They spend a lot of time working on this race car so they can be competitive, and they are leading the Manufacturers Championship and the Drivers' Championship. Morgan's out front, and Rust Belt Racing is in the lead. Now you can see it's lap 4 now, so DRS is available. DRS is that rear wing that opens up, drag reduction system, and Morgan's got the advantage. If you're within 1 second of the car in front of you, you can use DRS on those 2 straightaways on this racetrack, and Morgan will definitely take advantage of that. Now, I don't think Morgan is trying to beat his teammate. I think they're just trying to stay in front of the rest of the field here. We've got 37 laps total. We're just clicking off lap 4. Going to flip over to lap 5 here, and the battle back here with Will Edwards and Christian Bishop is not over. Both of them with DRS, but look at this run from Will Edwards. He's going to pop out, try to get the turn 1 entry. He's got those soft tires. He should be able to get this done easily down into turn 1 ahead of Christian, and almost got Bob Wallace at the same time, but Christian is not letting that go. He's back around the outside of turn 3, trying to get up there, but turn 4 and gone is Will Edwards. So we'll watch that. Will still within a second of Bob Wallace, has that DRS again. Those soft tires really coming in for him. He is really catching. Whoop, blink, and he disappeared for a second. That is the fact of the matter. That's just kind of how the cookie crumbles here at iRacing. You got guys in all parts of the world racing together, and sometimes they have a little glip, and then you don't know where they are for a second. Ooh, Bob hits the bump there going around turn 12. Could offset the car a little bit, but no harm, no foul. He's still on it. Morgan close as they go into turn 1. Right on the bumper, but as I said, I don't think you're going to see the lead change. That's not their goal. I would say strategy-wise, these guys are just trying to stay out front. Philip Scott on his own without a teammate, doing the best he can, trying to hang with these guys and doing a good job. He's got a 105.4 last lap, which is right with the leaders of the 105.3 and 105.2, just a tenth away from the leader, Adam Novotny. And Morgan does actually take the lead. I didn't think they would switch, but there they go. Morgan switches it up. Let's see if we can catch what happened there. That was on the end, using DRS at the end of the backstretch. Morgan's going to just pop around the outside. Actually, that's the inside as they dive into turn 7. And calculated and timed, Morgan goes around the outside. Adam, I'm sure they are on radio communication together. And Morgan takes the top spot. Maybe they think they can go a little quicker, or maybe Morgan just thinks he's faster right now, and he can do better pulling Adam with the DRS than Adam was doing. But, man, this battle back here, this battle for 4th is all hot, all heated up. Whoa, a little close there. There may have been a touch there from Will Edwards as he approaches the back tires. Oh, and he comes down on the inside trying to make that stick, but that chicane isn't going to be his friend. He's going to have to give that back up as Bob really trying to hold him off. And these two guys now 3 wide coming into turn 7. Oh, and he cuts in front of Bob and he takes the spot. Will Edwards for P4. Bob holds on to P5. Christian wanted through but didn't have a chance to complete that pass. The action here at Procraft Formula 1 Series, iRacing Series is incredible. These guys go at it hard every time. And there they go into turn 12. Christian Bishop does take that spot away. That's for P5. Bob Wallace back to P6. I've seen Bob race for 2 seasons now. He is not out of it. He is not done. He will be back. You can count on it. He will be right back up there. This battle is not over. So out front again, Morgan Teggy on the point. Now with 0.7 of a second lead over his teammate, Adam Novotny here in 2nd spot. 3rd place, we've got Philip Scott running in 3rd. And let's go to this cool TV static picture mode. It's kind of cool. So Philip goes around turn 7 through the S's. Back out into the super speedway in the white and blue W13. Wow, great angle there as Will Edwards following him. Goes around now. Will Edwards in P4 has caught. This is the advantage. Let's go to TV TV2 camera and watch this battle unfold. But this is the advantage of those soft tires. Soft tires, while they're hot, they are fast. And look at him go. He's got the DRS. He's down the front stretch. He's not using the draft, which would help him a little more. Philip Scott smartly stays down on the inside. He's going to defend the entry, but there's nothing he can do about that, as Will just barrels by with those soft compound tires. And that's the difference. Later on in the race, you're going to see him switch. So they have to change compounds during the race. So Will Edwards will have to let go of those skins and get himself some mediums or hards, depending on how long those things will last for him. But Philip Scott using DRS, staying close on this battle for P3. As the tires wear out, Philip's tires will last longer, and you'll see him catch back up. But right now, 0.8 of a second already in front, as Will Edwards is looking for the leaders. He's now got the fastest lap of the race. Just a titch, just not much. 104.796 to a 104.881 right now. Morgan Teggy and a 104.827. So all those top three guys in the high 104s, as well as Bob Wallace with their fastest lap time. Just starting lap number 10 for our leaders as they go through turns 1 and 2. While we're watching this awesome action, we'll jump back up front to our leader, and we'll tell you that Stair Fittings Incorporated is the sponsor, primary sponsor for Big Wizard TV. Stair Fittings Incorporated, where you can get everything you need for your stairs, accessories, stair treads, risers, handrails, newel posts, anything you need, they have them. Check them out at orders.stairfittings.com. That's orders.stairfittings.com. You'll check out the newel store. They have newels, newel posts, box newels. They have all kinds of stuff that you need for your stairs. Great quality, great service, great people. Check it out. Orders.stairfittings.com. Also, sponsor of Big Wizard TV is grandpaskitchen.com. Are you one that suffers from celiac disease? Do you have problems with gluten? These guys have gluten-free flour delivered right to your door. These guys make it in their factory and ship it out all over the world. It is some of the best. It is the only gluten-free flour I've tried. I'll have to admit that, but it is incredible. It tastes like regular flour, like you make cookies with it, or you make brownies or muffins, or you name it. If it's a dessert, I've had it, and I've eaten it with Grandpa's Kitchen flour, and it is top-notch stuff. So give it a shot. Try them out. If you need it, get online, grandpaskitchen.com. If you need gluten-free flour, these guys have it. If you're missing out on chocolate chip cookies, you haven't had them in a long time, you can have them, and they will taste great. grandpaskitchen.com. Use code BWTV at checkout, and you'll get 10% off your whole order. Not once, not twice, every time. BWTV, 10% off of your order at grandpaskitchen.com. We also race Sunday nights and Thursdays right before this race with East to West Racing, so they're on the screen. You can see them occasionally. This is Procraft Formula One Series. Procraft makes some incredible equipment. They do digital audio equipment, audio mixing equipment. They do anything you need for a studio. They make it, and it is top-notch stuff. Not only is the quality top-notch, but the service is second to none. If you need anything, if you're looking to set up your own studio, if you're looking to set up a portable gig, portable music station of some kind, if you're a DJ or anything like that, get a hold of them. Procraft out of California. They are our primary sponsor for this Formula One series. Race number 3 with Morgan Teggy out front of the race and out front of the championship. Now here we have seen Will Edwards get past Philip Scott for third, but now you can see the difference in the tires. Here it is. It's very evident. As we go across the chicane, Philip Scott's tires are the medium compound, and they're still going to hold on, but man, through that chicane, Will had a Great run. Philip does have DRS, but I thought they were coming around turn 3. I thought maybe they were going to be close enough that he could challenge down the backstretch there, but Will was saying no. Negativo, he was going to run that down and keep that P3 spot. Morgan is jumped out in front now, lapping cars. Whoa! And we just had one go off. That was Chris Tartamella in 10th place. He is now a lap down. He just went off in turn 14, coming up on the super speedway. He's going to have to gather that back up. He's got some cars right behind him. That's Christian Bishop and Bob Wallace going by. He's trying to go by. Oh, and Chris loses that one. Loses that battle as well. Morgan with a 4, almost 6-second lead now. Just really starting to pull away. His teammate, Adam Novotny, in P2. Will Edwards, with those soft compound tires, has moved up to P3. And Philip Scott in the 99 in P4 now. Everybody on track except for Will is running the medium compound tires. So they're going to have the better tires the second half of the race. Now, Christian Bishop still in front of Bob Wallace, but as I told you, Bob would not give up. He's right there. He is right behind him. The gap just 1.2 seconds. So Bob's going to stay close. Kelly Bishop in the 69 car is about a half a lap back from these guys. And don't worry about the little bounce there for Will's name. That is him glitching out on the server and coming back. So if he loses the server, he drops to last place and he comes back in. So, but Kelly doing some great laps here, staying on pace, staying on the lead lap. Lap 14. As he crosses the line, finishes up lap 14, starts lap 15 on the same lap as the leaders. And back behind Kelly, we have Todd Schwartz in this beautiful painted car. Todd is a painter. He paints cars in other series. You can't do a whole lot with this one, as I said. You can just pretty much change the colors and pick from like 8 different patterns. That's why most of the cars look very similar, just different colors. Todd paints his own stuff. Very talented. John Downey right there behind him trying to catch up. These guys are going to battle it out. And I see on this long straightaway now, it might be that Philip Scott has a little less downforce on his car, and that might be why he makes such a strong gain down that long straightaway and into turns 1 and 2. The chicane, though, here, usually Will has the measure of him, but this time Philip with DRS going to catch right up to the back there. Whoa, late on the brakes, and has to take it wide just not to run into the back of Will. That's one thing. That's a big no-no. Don't run into the back of the opponent, the guy in front of you. That's a tough one. As you see this battle continue, as they have caught up with Adam Novotny now. They're a little early for changing to softs. Will's softs are holding on really well right now, but Adam is not ready to come in yet, and he is losing ground to Will Edwards and Philip Scott here as the two of them are gaining on P2 driver. We'll see this unfold here. This battle here is the close one on the racetrack right now. Christian Bishop still staying out in front of Bob Wallace. That one's pretty close, only a couple second gap. But this one is a little closer as Philip Scott with DRS coming down this back straight. Closing up. He's going to have it timed a little better this time because he knows where to hit the brakes. As you can see, he stays right with him through the S's and out onto the super speedway here through the short chute. Ooh, and the 420 is off pace. He had a little issue there. That's Todd Schwartz. He's back going again, but little bobble there coming out. That's easy to do in that part of the racetrack. You get just a little while. He may have had some help. Nope, he gets loose. That's just him getting loose, getting back around the racetrack, trying to hold on to it. Oh, spins it around right in front of John Downey. John, what a great job getting where he needed to be. Let's go back up here to this battle because this is tight. We've got Will Edwards chasing down Adam Novotny. Now Adam is still pulling some great lap times, but Will now has the fastest lap of the race. Adam just a tenth away. So Will gained 1/10 last lap. 1/10 isn't going to get much when you have a 1.5 second lead. It's going to get a little, not enough. Big Wizard TV on the air tonight and 3 nights a week now. We do Sunday night with our East to West Racing GT3 series, 20 plus cars in that series. And that one is really quite an event. Sprint race followed by a feature race, 20 plus drivers, and a lot of action, a lot of door to door all the way through. Now someone there is in the pit lane that looks like Bob Wallace. No, it isn't. Is that Chris? That's Chris Tartamella sitting in pit lane. Philip Scott has definitely caught Will Edwards. No question. Oh, and a little bobble, man. He does not need that. That was the spot he did not need a bobble. Those medium compound tires really coming in good now. And he's going to try it. He's going to go down a little bit on the inside. He's going to take that line away, and he's going to try to make that pass. But Will Edwards having none of it as he goes through the S's in front by 1/10 of a second. Half a second now separate him as Will got a great launch off of those S's. And this is Adam closing in on the leader. Morgan is now right here with everybody. So they're getting here just past halfway. This is lap 19. How long will they go on these medium tires before they switch to the soft? So they can watch Will, who's doing great on those soft tires right now, and really able to hang on to his speed. But as you can see, the times are starting to drop. 105.9, 106.0, 105.8, 110 for the leader last lap. But look at that action there. Morgan saying that was temporary, and he is gone again as he's catching up with John Downey lap traffic in front of him. See how he handles that. 2 cars off the lead lap now, Todd Schwartz and Chris Tartamella. Chris still in the pit lane. Todd is still out there cranking out the laps. But he's let the leaders by. There goes. Whoa, and that's going to be tight coming through. Oh, and Adam Novotny just gets pinched. Now, whoa, and there goes Will Edwards. He's going to drop those soft compound tires, go for those mediums. It's lap 20. He thinks it's time. Maybe he should have gone a little sooner. We'll find out. Now, one thing you don't have to worry about with these cars, if a little bump happens, the cars are fine. They don't have to change. They don't lose wings. They don't have tires fall off. These guys are running damage healing, or healing damage, they call it, where the car hits something and the parts go back where they belong. It helps them with these cars. If you had any bump at all, you'd be towing back to the pit lane. The wheels come off, the car doesn't run at all. So to make it more competitive, more fun, they turn off the damage. But as you can see, you can't tell by racing. They don't run into each other. They stay super clean as they're driving around with each other here. So Will into the pits. Ran 20 laps out of the 37 on his soft compound tires. Let's see. Oh, he puts on those mediums now. And this is that glitch I was telling you about. Oh, and Philip Scott gets by Adam Novotny. He missed that. Oh, he's going in the pits. Okay, Philip Scott takes the lead. Stays out on the lead lap. Morgan Teggy. Let me go back to this camera shot here. Morgan Teggy and Adam Novotny in the pit lane as Bob Wallace goes by. Will Edwards really, when he got on those medium compound tires, did not let him get warmed up enough, and he had a bad spin there in turn 12 on the last lap. That is going to hurt, because now when these guys come out of the pits, they're going to come out that much farther in front of him. And we see them moving in their pit box now. Morgan is out. Adam's in the pit box. He's coming out. They have changed tires to the soft compound tires, and I know it shows. It shows on Kelly's car that he has, not Kelly's, Will's car, that he has the red tires on him, but that's not the case. He does not have red tires. He has yellow tires, and he spun and lost grip. He may be switching back to reds. He can. He did the yellow tires. Even for one lap, it counts. And since he lost all that time, he might be putting those reds back on to make up that time. We'll see what happens. Watch this play out. These cars look like they're walking down the pit lane at 55 miles an hour. Maybe it's 35. It isn't fast, whatever it is, but man, these guys are fast. Morgan has gone through the pit lane. He has made his stop on lap 22. Adam on lap 22. Christian Bishop on lap 22. And those guys are 3, 4, and 5. Bob Wallace is still... Nope, he's in the pits as well. Bob and Philip in the pits. And here comes Will after his stop. They just passed Bob and Philip, so they are coming out of pit lane now. That is a huge gap. Huge gap. Christian Bishop even goes by. The timing there, the in and out laps. Morgan 120, 132, Adam 132, Christian 133. Let's see what Bob's next lap is, because his in lap was a 122. That's going to hurt. Philip Scott ran a great lap on his last lap on the track with a 104.7, fastest lap of the night. Now, Christian into third spot. Tell you, he's crafty. He's really good. He knows what he's doing. Morgan Teggy out front. He's got Will Edwards now right in front of him. Now Will is back on mediums. He put other mediums on. That is interesting. He went 21 laps on his soft tires, went in for one lap on the mediums, and put another set of mediums on. I question that. If he already ran his one lap on the mediums, he should have gone back to softs, because that's where he had the best speed. Morgan now with the soft tires, he's going to be able to catch him with DRS and just go right by him. And that puts Will a lap down. Will just gets out of the way. Doesn't want to hold up the leader. But he was there battling for the lead right before the pit stop. So that tells you what can happen if you lose grip and the tires get worn. That pretty much does it for Will and his chances for a podium finish. Morgan out front. We got Adam in P2. About 4 seconds back for now, but that's pretty quick for just 3 laps. 4 seconds, the gap. Christian Bishop in the 26. How far back is he? He's got 10, almost 11 seconds to Adam. And we'll see if he can close that gap. We'll find out. Bob Wallace, as I said, never count him out. Never let him go off your radar, because he is coming back. There he is, just 3 seconds behind Christian Bishop. Both with the soft compound tires now. Everybody running on the softs except the drivers that have not gone in yet, and Will Edwards. John Downey and Todd Schwartz still running those mediums. We're on lap 25, just finishing that up here as Morgan goes through the short chute. Will Edwards is going to be fast, but he is a lap down in P7. John Downey in the 5 car is still on the lead lap, but 14 seconds back is your leader, Morgan Teggy. We'll see if John can... Oh, he can't, because he's got a pit still. John still has to pit, so that'll put him down a lap as soon as he pulls into the pit lane. Let's watch some cool camera angles for a minute. Go ahead and crank up your audio. Crank it up. All right, race fans, we have 10 to go this time by. We're going to watch Morgan as he comes around to the stripe. Battles on the track are kind of minimal at this point. They've spread out pretty good. We do have John Downey coming through the pit lane. Todd Schwartz right there behind him. John's going to get out first. He switched over to the soft compound tires after 25 laps on the mediums. You can see the compound there on the screen. It is actually accurate on the screen. So we'll see what Todd comes out with as he re-enters the racetrack, also with softs. Chris Tartamella stayed in the pit lane. Now 13, 14 laps down, so he is not continuing on the racetrack. Our leader and points leader, 2 wins so far. Wasn't the quickest in qualifying, but definitely the quickest on the racetrack. Now with the quickest time posted, and he is running a 103.630 for his fastest lap now. And Adam Novotny just posted his fastest lap with a 104.223. So they're still cooking. They're still running some really quick times out there. We've only got 9 to go, and this one will be in the books. If Morgan takes 3 in a row, he's going to be awfully hard to catch in this championship fight. Christian Bishop doing everything he can to get back up there, but Adam Novotny has his number tonight. As we watch Adam here in P2, catching up with Will Edwards, returning the favor with the tire compounds. I'm still not sure why Will didn't just go soft, 1 lap medium, go back to soft. I think that's what I would have done if I had come back in anyway. Come back in for a second stop. You might as well get the better tires on it. But he did not. Adam with DRS and the soft compound tires should be catching him here into turn 7. And sooner or later, Will's going to have to let him go because as lap down, he is not allowed to block the other traffic. So I'm guessing soon, probably into turn 1. If not sooner, you'll see Will kind of move over and let him through. Around 14 down the super speedway, and there he goes, moves over to the side. Adam with DRS comes down the front stretch uninhibited in the second position down into turn 1. Christian Bishop in the 26, just that far behind, also on the front stretch there, but 10-11 seconds now to Adam Novotny, and Christian is going to have to do something to pull that gap, to close that gap in the next 11 laps, or next 7 laps. Bob Wallace also just losing just a bit of ground, ever so slightly there, to Christian Bishop. All these guys running the soft compound tires. Everybody's on the softs now, top 9 on the softs, except for Will Edwards, who started on the softs, and he is running the mediums. Bob Wallace in P4, holding on strong, trying to catch up with Christian Bishop, but just not getting it done tonight. Christian has the better drive so far with a 3.5 second gap in front. Not really going anywhere. That gap's holding pretty steady, 3.5 to 4 seconds. Bob is just not able to close it up tonight. Philip Scott in P5. Now he was up near the front. Something must have happened during the pit exchange. He either had a slow exchange or something happened. He was in third and came out behind Christian and Bob. So we'll see if he can make some more ground. He's got 25 seconds to catch up for Bob. I don't think he's going to have a chance to do that. And the next car in front of him is John Downey. So he might get some help with DRS. Next lap, John Downey's lap down. Will Edwards, after his mistake with the medium compound tires, having a problem in turn 12, he is back at it. Tires warmed up, everything going fine, but not where he wanted to be. He wanted to be up battling for the lead and the win. Now back in P6. Lap down to the leaders. We saw Morgan go by him early on, but now he is holding his own, keeping the spot between himself and, or between Morgan and Adam. Morgan catching up with the lap traffic, catching up with Kelly Bishop, still quite a ways away, but he has passed a couple. He's gotten by Todd Schwartz. Is Todd battling for position? No, he's with Kelly Bishop, not with Will Edwards. So those guys are 2 laps down. Kelly's still in front of the leader. Kelly's 15 seconds ahead of this spot. But Todd and Will both a lap down. Todd's still going to let him go, just out of courtesy, but being that they are both a lap down, he doesn't really have to, but no reason holding him up. Will's definitely a quicker driver, and right now he just happens to have the bad luck of the night. We'll give him the bad luck award. Bad luck award to Will Edwards. Let's go back up to the front. Morgan's extended that lead to 20 seconds, now catching the back of Kelly Bishop, just 10 seconds off of the back of Kelly Bishop, and Kelly is running in P8. So 8 cars on the lead. No, Kelly's a lap down. There's not that many cars on the lead lap. There's only 5. Only 5 on the lead lap, and I don't think we're going to see Morgan catching up with Phillip. He's a good long distance in front of him at this point. He's more than 30 seconds out. Oh, he's 21 seconds out. Still would be very surprised if he caught him in 4 laps. But anything's possible. I don't think so, because usually you don't see Phillip making that many mistakes. Don't know what happened during pit exchange, but something was awry during the pit exchange. So tire compounds and tire strategy, Morgan and Adam seem to have, well, all the top 5 on the same exact strategy. Run about 21, 22 laps and switch from mediums to softs. There you go. There's the strategy. But that's what worked. Will Edwards going from the softs after 20 laps to mediums failed. So he wasn't ready for the difference in compounds and the cold tires, and ended up losing that ground. As Morgan clicks off another one, and we are on 35 of 37. There are 3 to go in this. What was it called? It had a cool name. Redemption for 2005 Grand Prix at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Round 3 of Season 2 of the Procraft Formula One iRacing Series here on Big Wizard TV. We've got all the action for you, flag to flag, every week, except for a few. We do have a couple weeks where we're out of town. I'll be out of town in a couple weeks from now. I'll be around next week for the next event. That one will be at the Down Under Grand Prix at Mount Panorama. That is going to be crazy. Mount Panorama is a wild racetrack. Alabama Historic with the Lotus 79s. I'm going to actually miss that one. I'll be out of town. I'll be on an airplane on the 26th. So I'll miss that event. But then I'll be back for the Wisconsin Grand Prix at Road America on February 2nd. February 2nd, Groundhog Day. Be a great day for racing, but watch out for the groundhogs as they come across the racetrack. Could cause problems for you. Morgan out front. Here we are with 2 to go. He just goes into turn 4. He's just got to stay clean. His lead is large, 20-second gap. 18-second gap back to second place to Adam Novotny. Third place, Christian Bishop. We'll see if tires come to be a factor. 6 seconds the gap now. Christian has closed it up, but not enough. He was at 11. I don't think 2 laps is going to be enough. We'll see, as Adam's going to try to hang on to P2 and have that center step on the podium. Bob Wallace falling back just slightly in P4 in the 666. No Fox Given Racing. Bob Wallace. And Philip Scott in the 99. Still 7.5 seconds away from Bob. I don't think he's going to have enough time to make that up. Now lap down cars. We've got Will Edwards in P6. John Downey in P7. Kelly Bishop in P8. With Todd Schwartz in 9th position with Morgan right behind him. And we are on the final lap as we watch Morgan go around in the last lap of the race. Switch over to TV2, get a nice angle here of him coming around onto the short chute in between turns 1 and 2 of the super speedway, down back towards the pit lane, and then back out on the super speedway. This will do it. Checkered flag in the air. It is waving now for Morgan Teggy as he goes across the line. There's our little dude from iRacing, Bernie, hardest working man in iRacing, throwing that checkered flag. Morgan Teggy comes across the line, followed by Will Edwards. Will being a lap down. Then we'll see Adam Novotny come across with Todd Schwartz right behind. Christian Bishop will be next across the line in P3. There's your podium finishers, Morgan, Adam, and Christian. And they are your top 3 tonight. Bob Wallace holds on for P4. He's not going to be happy with that. He did have a great run. He was up close. And we'll have to find out what happened to Philip Scott. He has not only dropped out of the race here as they cross the line, but he has actually dropped off the server. So there goes John Downey, Kelly Bishop going across the line in 7th and 8th. Todd Schwartz already crossed. Chris Taramella has left the racetrack. He kind of dropped after a couple laps, didn't really like what was going on for his race. And that will do it for the recovery of 2005, redemption of 2005 Grand Prix from Indianapolis. This is Ron in the booth with Big Wizard TV saying thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for watching the replays, and thanks for watching the stream. We will try to go here in the booth and see if we can catch a couple of these guys as they come around. The top 3 are supposed to... Of course, I turned my app off. That doesn't help. These guys are supposed to come around and drop into right on the start-finish line for the photo op. Let's see if I can get my camera. There they are. There's the guys. 1, 2, and 3. Morgan Teggy, Adam Novotny, Christian Bishop. 1, 2, and 3 in this one. Morgan with his 3rd race win of the season. And we'll wait for him to drop down in here into the booth. And we'll talk to him. Morgan might do some donuts. I'm going to predict that he will. We'll see what happens. If he's got fuel left, he will do donuts. Or he might. Hey, what's going on, Morgan? I was wondering if you were going to do donuts. I'm sitting here watching your car on the front stretch. Like, come on, man, do the donuts.
Well, I got that slap on the wrist last time, so I figured I'd wait until everybody had a chance to talk.
Well, do them now, and we'll watch a couple of them. You know, it's got to be fun right after. Go ahead, do it. Go.
All right. I'm good.
There he goes. Got to get some smoke out there. You know, once the smoke comes out, you can't get it back in. The perfectly flat front stretch of Indianapolis Motor Speedway allows him to do donuts without even moving. Those are going to be on the racetrack for a long time. They aren't going anywhere.
There you go.
If we come back a month from now and race, those donuts are still going to be there.
Oh, 100%, because I'm in 8th gear right now.
Just laying them down. Morgan, congratulations. Great win tonight. You pretty much had it from about lap 5. So I was watching you guys up front, nose to tail for a while, and I thought you were just playing the strategy for a little bit, letting Adam take the lead and keep out front. But then that ended, and you took off. So nice race.
Thank you. No,
Thank you,
that's
Wendy.
just the thank you. That was the game plan. Tires held up. Was just trying to be consistent, but kept making silly little mistakes. But this track was way more tricky than I was expecting it to be. The smallest little mistake would totally ruin your lap.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think it's the track. I think it's the tires. Whatever they did in the most recent update has made them objectively worse. And I mean, it's not. I don't know. I haven't felt like we've had survival races since 2 seasons ago. You know, like
Yeah.
it's a little demoralizing to say
Well,
the least.
I was watching the first half of the race with Will up there, and with those soft compound tires, he started back a little bit. He gave him a couple laps to get in, and then he took off, and he was really catching you guys up front. He got by you, Christian. He got right up to the back of Morgan, and then when not Morgan, but Adam, and he went into the pits, switched over to the medium compound tires, and then he lost it and turned 12 on that outlap. And
yeah, he was trying to avoid some lap traffic, I guess, and
I
think he spun it on the way out of the pits and got a penalty because he went over the blue line when he spun. It was a disaster for him.
Well, he came back in, and I thought while he was there, he should have switched back over to the soft compound tires. He had a lap on the mediums that would have counted, but he didn't do that. He just kept going, and
he had to serve a penalty, so I think he wouldn't have been able to both serve the penalty and take a stop on
and change the tires. But it did show that he had a third set of tires, so it looked like he changed tires.
Weird. I wonder if it ended up putting on a brand new set of mediums then.
It might have, but I think if he would have switched them to softs, he would have been better off in that second half of the race. But great run, Morgan. Morgan did a great job out in the front. Adam, you were flying as well. You guys were up front. Who ended up with the pole tonight? I know it was bouncing around right there at the end.
Phil,
that's what I thought. But you had the jump off the start. Dive down into turn 1, and you just said goodbye.
Yeah, Morgan was just too consistently fast.
Well, that never happens.
Yeah. And I was trying to just have a clean race, but I hit the grass twice and spun same exact spot.
Yeah.
But
you know what I need? I need to have pictures of you guys so we can put your picture up while we're talking to you. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
We could do that. See if we can work on that, Christian. Get pictures of the drivers so I can drop them on the screen while we're talking. Might be kind of cool. And the tire strategy was even. All three of you guys did the exact same thing. I think Christian, you went a lap farther, maybe I think, but it was really close.
The same lap. I basically pitted as soon as I could because I hated these mediums so much.
Well, Will had the softs going for 21 laps, and he was still clicking off some pretty good times. But
yeah, if he hadn't borked the start, he got sideways and we almost had a full grid collapse.
Pile up. Good thing we got healing damage on.
Millimeters away. Like we tested the net code extremely closely on that one.
Yeah, well, you guys also tested the self-healing damage, so good job on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you and Christian, you and Bob had a pretty good battle going for a little while. He stayed with you until the pit exchange, and then once you got on the soft tires, it didn't seem like he had it, and couldn't get back up.
Because I went off, but then it just was another case of the rears just let go on the new updates. I'm not sure what it is that they changed, but it's consistently like just rear sliding out of nowhere with no way to save it really. And that's what happened to him. He said at the at the final complex, he just lost the rear and it was just gone.
Yeah. Well, it was a good race. It was a lot of fun to watch. Hopefully the replay's good. I will have the replay over on YouTube TV here later on tonight. It'll push over and have to process and all that good stuff, but it'll be on Twitch TV for a week, and after that you'll have to catch it over on, actually tomorrow you can catch it on YouTube TV or YouTube Big Wizard TV.
Heck yeah.
So.
Well, thanks for streaming, dude.
Yeah.
It's always appreciated.
It was a good time. Good time. We need a few more drivers out here. Let's go, 10 guys.
I mean, I don't. Honestly, the tire changes are making me worried a little bit. If the really good people are struggling now with this car, it doesn't really. It's harder to get new people to come in when the car is like this. Basically,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like,
let's
yeah.
give it a shot. Give it a shot. Tell Kelly to go out there and do some recruiting. We'll get some more people on track.
Yeah, hopefully. He's got.
All right, guys. Nice race. Good job. I'm going to close this down here. As always, don't race on the road. Do not race in your road car. Race on the track. If your track's covered with snow, race with us here at iRacing. Procraft Formula One Series every Thursday night. Right here at this, what is it? About 8:30 or 9:30 Eastern time we kick off the race. Real close to that. So.
Yeah, about that time.
Yeah,
9:30, 10 Eastern.
9:30 between 9:30 and 10 after qualifying's done. But thanks again, everybody, for tuning in, and have a great day. And we'll see you guys on the next race. Good night, all.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, Ron.